Hey guys, my name is Kat, I'm 23 years of age and I'm an accountant. A significant event. Do you know what? There is a lot of things I could say about my athletics career, about work, about whatnot, but today I've picked one particular event which stretched over 2 years that helped me to shape me who I am today. Um, and that would be, funny enough, a breakup that I've experienced with someone I've been with for quite a long time. And it has helped me to shatter inside, if you want to call it that way, and just come out the other side being a better person, loving myself, finding myself, getting to know myself, becoming friends with myself, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was definitely the most significant event that happened to me.
When you mean shatter, what do you mean?
Yeah, so it was um, it was a complicating one really, because I was very in love with that person. We were both in love, and um, our relationship just wasn't working for us anymore. But the problem was that, as being with someone from a young age of 18, 19, 20, 21, you are very... I was so engrossed into it. I was living by it. I was, just... I felt like that is it. When you're young, that's what you think. You just feel like there's nothing else. You just feel so happy. Everything is perfect. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So, yeah, a few bad things happened between us. And when I got out of the relationship, I felt very depressed, because I suddenly started to question, like, myself. Like, oh my gosh, I feel so lonely. I feel so dependent on that person. I feel like there is nothing there for me. What's the point of being here? Because I can't go to the restaurant with that person. We're not going to go to the gym together. Like, it all felt like the world was just breaking for me. So I had to get on this road, a long road really. It never ends. It never ends. Of finding myself, which involved just simply starting to love myself. Improving relationship with my family, improving relationships with my friends. Funny enough, I mentioned the restaurant example. I actually went to the restaurant that we loved together on my own, and I just sat there and ordered food on my own. Like, that felt like such a big step. Like, it's crazy. Because I felt happy, because I was like, oh wow, like, I can do this on my own. This isn't awkward. Because I would always wonder before, oh my gosh, if I sit here on my own, like, would people think that I'm being weird of being in the restaurant on my own? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I started just going on for walks on my own. It's alright. It's not... it's so cool. Like, it's amazing. Um, and I've started meditating, I've started paying more attention to my own mental health, and just stopped using other things to constantly make me happy. Because you know what it's like. I'm sure loads of you would have experienced that when you feel broken in a way or something, you feel like you want to constantly gratify yourself with new clothes, food, people, which by people I mean sleeping around and doing all this stuff. So it very much felt like that for me as well, and that none of that made me happy. Just none of it. It was just not good. It's not good for you really, but it just seems like it's a part of the circle that you go through to get yourself into the right place. But yeah, one more thing I would mention. That I mentioned that I was depressed and I was not feeling well at all. Obviously, being an accountant, I actually kept a spreadsheet of my feelings and how I felt. So actually, I was recording, like for example, I felt sad on a day, and then I recorded how long it lasted, how I felt, what triggered me. That's an important one. What I did on those days. I would give myself a score of how I feel on that day. I have graphs and charts about my feelings. It's so funny to say that, but it has helped me so much to see how I changed over the last 2 years. And it was the best thing I've done, really, to sort of keep track of it and just being in touch with your emotions and sitting down and thinking, so how was that? There's probably hundreds of negative things I could say about the day when you're depressed, but actually I had to pick for good things first. Someone let me go in the roundabout, oh thanks, do you know what I mean? Like, always picking up the good things, no matter how small they are. It's so important to really look into that and appreciate those things.
Do you know why you stayed so long in this relationship?
I do, actually, yeah. I am lucky enough to have sought help a therapist at the time, 3 years ago now, and it's quite a good. I'm so glad I've done that, because basically you sit down at the table and you complain about your life to somebody for an hour, and they give you a scientific or like psychological explanation of what you're feeling. So that was big good aspect of what made me read books and research and start doing it all myself, which is what I'm doing now. So what made me stay? So I've kind of looked back at my life, and because I have a dad, but I've actually never seen him in my life. So there was always sort of like this feeling like he wasn't there. There was this father figure missing in a way. Even though my granddad is shall I say, he's a G. My granddad has taught me everything. DIY, you ask me. Taxes, my granddad has taught me. So anyway. And my mum is really young. My mum is the best mum ever. She's like my sister, but obviously with a young mum comes young mum things that basically she had to go to uni, she's got 2 degrees, my mum is lit, but obviously she had to do what she had to do, and I kind of realised that because of these family issues, I stayed with someone that the situation wasn't good for me, and I knew it, but I stayed because I was just afraid to be abandoned, to be lonely, to be left alone, to lose someone I love. Simple as that. And it's heartbreaking, really, when you hear that, because you remain in a bad situation just because inside you feel like you can't function on your own. Do you know what I mean? You feel like you can't function on your own. Of course you can. Now I know I can, and now I'm obviously looking back at it like, oh damn, like this was something else, and I don't struggle with that anymore. But at the time, when I didn't know any of this stuff, that made me feel, very sad and very depressed of leaving this person and feeling like we've spent 3 years together, and now this someone I love is going to get pulled away from me once again, just like my mum and my dad, and all family things link into this whole situation a lot, and I'm sure we all can agree, if we look back at our family tree, there could be some things that you might go and notice, so it's always something to look into.
So how do you feel after all of this big event?
Yeah, so I just feel happy. I can't describe it, but happiness is one thing that you feel, it's a feeling that you feel and you don't want it to end. Almost like you're like, oh my gosh, like, because you only realize that you were happy when you are unhappy, and you're like, how do I go back there? How do I scroll back to that place? You know. So yeah, I feel much better. I feel much more balanced. Constantly working on my, you know, what used to be, you could describe them as, you know, insecure thoughts or behaviors or toxic this, that and the other, that have floated up while I was obviously dealing with my previous relationship. So yeah, I think the key word would be happy that I feel, but obviously I just kind of glad I've started reading more, a lot more than I've ever read, because back in the day, you would not make me open a book, like only if it was for English GCSE I would open and read it if I really 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 had to. But this journey has helped me to just be like, listen, go and pick up that book, see what they say, you know. These people writing books because they're probably experts in that topic, so why not go and pick their brain and see what they're saying and stuff. So that has helped a lot with that, with just general understanding of psychology and how it works. Because I wouldn't say I'm religious, but I would say that I like science. I like when what happens in your head can be backed by science. So, you know, if good thoughts can make you well, then negative thoughts make you sick. And why does that happen? How it works? What are the patterns of behavior and all of that? It's very complicating, but I love it. There's definitely a degree of complexity that excites me, and it just makes me more curious and stuff. So yeah, 100%.
What else do you do to keep, happy and in a good state of mind?
What else do I do? I have to say, one of the biggest things definitely is just sitting in my bed and just reading, relaxing on my own. One important thing I haven't even mentioned, and I'm shocked I haven't mentioned it yet, is obviously gym and athletics. And well, athletics isn't really a thing anymore, but just keeping fit. And that the topic of fitness with me in my life has somehow just stayed separated from everything that was going on. It's almost like I don't know what it's like not to exercise or not to do something, you know, because it gives you that good feeling. It makes you feel good, you know, as you probably know. So anytime I would feel, if I feel upset or I feel happy, I would still go to the gym. Like, it's just part of the routine, part of the day. There is no doubt about it. So, and obviously it keeps me afloat, and new PBs keep me happy.
Coming out of your previous relationship, what is your most proudest moment?
Yeah, I think one of the most proudest things is just that this whole shattering, becoming a new person and digging deep into yourself to find like who you are, what the hell am I doing here, like, you know, that I am actual human being myself. Like, you don't just sit in a bubble with the other person and become one. Do you know what I mean? Since then, the biggest, proudest thing is just the fact that I've formed this new outlook on life. Like, I'm just so chilled about everything. Like, I didn't know this feeling even existed. Like, I don't really, like, not many things bother me, and I'm just going through things and I'm not really worrying about it. I'm not living in the past and I'm not depressed. I'm not living in the future and I'm not anxious. I am just living now. Like, it's hard to get there, but once you get here, it's like, I can't describe it. It's great. Like, I just take every day as it comes. I mean, I'm still planning my future, and I've got a lot of things to plan. But don't get me wrong, I love my past. No matter how bad some bits were, but I love it, but I'm more in love with my future, because I know there is a lot of good things that I will make happen because of who I am and what I'm doing and what I'm planning to do. So just this outlook itself, I'm just proud of it. And I think if we talk about relationships as well, just simply sitting back and just observing people sometimes is the best thing you can do. You know, you there's no need to complicate anything. There's no need to chase anyone. Don't enjoy being chased either. Just I want to do this, but I don't know what I mean by it. But yeah, it's just good to good to relax and just not worry too much, and just enjoy being you, and most importantly, just love yourself. Like, you can't love someone if you don't love yourself, or if you don't know who the hell you are. That's the biggest lesson I took away from it all, and it changed my life, really. Yeah.
So were you able to learn more about yourself?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Every day was a learning about myself, because I couldn't carry on like that. I couldn't carry on dealing with my, what I call depressive episodes of, you know, just walking down the corridor and start crying. You would just cry for no reason whatsoever. All these thoughts would just marinate in your head constantly and just make you really upset, basically sick. So yeah, I've learned a lot about myself as I went through that experience a while back. So obviously, main thing I've learned is that actually I'm quite strong. Like, wow, like I've had to sit down and really looked at those spreadsheets and tell myself, like, you're okay now, like, because I to be honest, right now I'm the happiest I've been in a very long time. So maybe last time I was this happy is when I was climbing trees with the boys in the and doing random stuff as a kid. But definitely I've learned a lot about myself, and it shaped me who I am today.